Hey guys, in this video we're going to learn how to make some basic composites. We're going to learn how to get this tiger in with its shadow. It's not the best shadow, but it's kind of just basic stuff. And yeah, so let's get right into it. So to start off, we're just going to start with this image, and then we're going to bring in, I'm going to click open so I can mask this first. Okay, and then you can use your pen tool to make a selection. I'm going to use my quick selection tool. If you have the 2020 version, you can try to use the object selection tool. Usually doesn't work for this type of image, but if it ever does, that actually worked. Okay, and then just make sure you make it look better with quick selection tool. Another thing you can do is select everything but the tiger, or try to do that. And then just click invert. It doesn't have to be the best because we can just clean it up later. Yeah, I'm just gonna mask this. So I got it in. And now I'm just gonna make it smaller and put it like right here. And since it looks really, really weird, like really unrealistic, so we're just gonna put it back, and then we're gonna use. We're gonna go to the mask, and we're going to use our brush tool, and then kind of mask it out. And then we're gonna grab our brush. It's in the dry media brushes. It's called Kyle's Ultimate. I don't know what it's fully called. It's the first brush that you should find, and it is really good for trying to bring back like something that looks like grass in your masking. That's what I use it for. Whenever I do use it, which is not very often. You can like take a look with your brushes, seeing how they look. Okay. So our tiger is looking a little bit too big, so we're just gonna make him smaller. Now we're gonna do some color matching. So I'm going to go to I'm not gonna make a new layer. I'm going to make a new adjustments layer, and I'm gonna go to curves, and I'm just gonna get the darkest with the first eyedropper, the mid-tones with the second, like these colors, and then the lightest with the last one, and that kind of does some color matching, and it's a little too strong, so I'm just going to turn down the opacity And yeah, so that's some color matching. Now we're just gonna do some field of blur. Whoops, it's probably the wrong one. Yeah, I'm just gonna, yeah, field blur, okay. Yeah, I clicked the wrong one. And we're just gonna make it so the front is, not very blurred, and then the back is slightly blurred. I mean, very blurred. The front should be a little blurred, and then this area should be, like, not blurred. And then we're gonna do stuff with the lion. I mean, tiger. I'm gonna make this a smart object, so, and then I'm gonna, so I don't have to do all this weird stuff. Turn the blur. I'm gonna make the lion pretty clear, but still slightly blurred. Yeah, I think he's a little too clear, so I'm gonna go to. Oops. Oh. Okay, then these do not work. Now I'm just gonna add a field blur to it. Now we're just gonna add some highlights. So I'm going to, this is my layer, right? Yeah. So, I'm going to add a hue and saturation layer, and then I'm gonna make it completely, like, I'm gonna colorize it and make sure it's, like, completely, like, orangish. I'm going to clip it to the bottom layer, the tiger layer, and I'm gonna turn the saturation pretty high. I'm gonna turn the lightness pretty high. This is gonna be our, highlights. So then I'm gonna press Control Shift I. On the Control I on the mask for it, and then we're gonna grab my brush tool, and then I'm gonna switch it back to a soften round, and then we're gonna add it back, make sure it's white, and then we're just gonna add it back to make it. And since it's a little too pink, I'm gonna go back to it, And then I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. Yeah, so that looks a little better. And then I'm going to do basically the same thing, but we're going to make it completely black. And then like before, Control I, grab our brush tool, make sure it's on white, and we're just going to do it on like the bottom area. And then we're also going to make sure that our opacity is slightly lower, so it's not the strongest shadows. So that is our shadows. I think I need a little bit more blur, so I'm just going to add that. By a little bit, I mean a lot more. So it still blends in with where it is. And then I'm going to give it another mask, and I'm just going to blend it in with the grass a little bit better. Make it look like the grass is kind of popping out. And then we have to add its shadows. So, I'm going to do the same thing I did with him, the tiger, but with the landscape. And then we're going to do the same thing. Make sure it's white, make sure it's pretty big. And then we're just gonna turn down the opacity. And then I'm just gonna start painting it in. Now I'm gonna go over the parts again. Make it darker, and I think that's a good shadow. Maybe make the front of it a little bit darker, and then under the legs a little bit darker. The parts that aren't, I think that's a little bit too much. Yeah, I think that is a good shadow. And then I'm just gonna try refining it everywhere, and then I'll come back. So, I duplicated it to and then turned it completely black, then turned down the opacity, and that's how I made this shadow. I think it looks a lot better than the other one. But yeah, it's not the most realistic thing. It's just a little better. It's a nice composition. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.